Let me ask you this. When was the last time a pair of pants caused a political meltdown, a 17% stock surge, and a culture war?
Oh, right. Late July.
Sydney Sweeney's denim went viral. But what if the real story is what it distracted us from?
Grab your waistband. We're about to unbutton the chaos. So here's the scene. American Eagle launches a new campaign starring Euphoria's Sydney Sweeney, blonde, blue-eyed, draped in Americana and denim. In one ad, she says, "My jeans are blue." Then a male narrator jumps in with, "Sydney Sweeney has great jeans." You see what they did there.
Subtle as a sledgehammer. They even crossed out the word jeans with a G on screen and replaced it with jeans, like the pants. It's the kind of pun that feels tailor-made to spark a think piece and a Twitter war.
Critics jumped in fast, saying it glamorized white purity and echoed eugenic themes. When you pair that line with Sweeney's classic all-American look and suggestive body angles, the internet had plenty of thoughts.
Fox News praised it and put it in the spotlight. Twitter raged. Conspiracies blossomed. It was a whole thing. But while the internet debated whether this was fashion or fascism, the story kept unfolding. Reddit and TikTok didn't hold back and summed it up as intentional Aryan vibes.
PR insiders pointed out the outrage might have been baked into the rollout. The controversy wasn't a misfire. It was the marketing. Sydney didn't just survive the backlash, she became an unapologetic symbol, and potentially a bigger star.
Headlines weren't arguing about fabric. They were tangled in a tug-of-war between woke meltdown and free speech fashion. Every reaction, every comment, every hot take just added oxygen to a fire designed to go viral.
And that fire translated into dollars. American Eagle's stock surged 17%. That's not just coincidence. That's the market tipping its hat to outrage as marketing.
A stitched-on charity patch won't outshine a controversy inferno, especially when it's tucked away like legal fine print.
To break down Alex's rant, the Sydney jean came with a butterfly patch meant to promote awareness for domestic violence survivors. But it wasn't front and center. It was a postscript interpreted as an afterthought.
Classic virtue signal tailoring. Add a feel-good detail and hope no one notices the frayed messaging underneath.
The whole campaign smelled more like spin cycle than self-expression or an act of charity.
Meanwhile, the speculation machine was on overdrive. I'll say it. The timing didn't feel accidental. It dropped right as new Epstein headlines were bubbling. And that butterfly patch? It's classic transformation iconography. Either a harmless brand flourish or a deliberate nudge toward something darker.
I'll take the semiotics angle. Pair great jeans with blonde hair and blue eyes, and you're playing with fascist-coded aesthetics, whether you mean to or not. At minimum, it was built to spark exactly this fight. Mission accomplished.
At this point, if a butterfly flaps its wings in a denim ad, half the internet thinks some shadowy agency just recruited a new influencer.
Honestly, if you squint hard enough, every ad starts to look like a subliminal scavenger hunt. And just to ground this, people aren't imagining it. These breakdowns are everywhere. From creators dissecting symbolism to everyday users calling out what feels off. So yeah, it sounds wild, but it's not just us saying it.
While Sydney's denim drama soaked up the algorithm, a few other stories quietly slipped into the hamper. Fox News mentioned the American Eagle campaign 62 times for a total of 85 minutes of coverage over just 4 days. Epstein updates got just 3 minutes in comparison.
So we debated cleavage and genetics, while updates on elite sex trafficking quietly came and went. Meanwhile, just days later, the Senate Appropriations Committee advanced an $852 billion budget for the Department of Defense, $21.6 billion more than Trump requested earlier this year. To top it all off, it included about $1 billion for Ukraine, despite the administration's request to strip it due to budget concerns.
In my opinion, that's all table stakes compared to the Rescissions Act of 2025. Signed into law on July 24, it pulled $7.9 billion from foreign aid and $1.1 billion from public broadcasting, including education and healthcare grants. To me, this is what it was all about, reducing public scrutiny.
So let me get this straight. We can send $1 billion to Ukraine, but we can't keep PBS and NPR? The hits just keep coming.
While Denim faded from the spotlight, the FAA approved to expand drone operations by building 6 new UAS test sites to support unmanned aircraft systems. Project Blue Book, anyone? But don't worry, Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Oh boy, here we go. We'll do an episode of Project Blue Book soon, I promise. Anyway, American Eagle's stock was soaring, but unemployment among young black women hit 9.2%, a new post-pandemic high, and that didn't get a tenth of the airtime.
Denim discourse trended, and behind the curtain, the rulebook got hemmed to fit new outcomes.
It's the oldest play in the distraction handbook. Ignite a culture war, own the narrative, feed it to the algorithm, then sit back and quietly pass policies without the hassle of public opinion. They weren't just selling jeans, it was an intentional smokescreen. So what do we think? Marketing misfire, political ploy, or fashion psyop?
All of the above? Here's my devil's advocate theory. This wasn't just about denim or Americana. It was a pressure test. Engineered outrage designed to distract and divide, while driving profit and orchestrating the narrative. And it worked.
It gave conservatives a new hero, liberals a new punching bag, shareholders a very happy spreadsheet, and our current administration the cover to reallocate foreign aid without a fight and decrease public broadcasting funding without a fight.
Throw in a hint of culture war and a sprinkle of butterfly symbolism, and boom, denim becomes discourse.
And maybe that's the real genius. Whether you think it's offensive, overblown, or just dumb, you're still talking about it. And while you do, something else slips quietly past.
So next time a jeans ad hijacks your feed on every channel, ask yourself, what's really happening behind the scenes?
This has been Devil's Advocate. Stay skeptical, stay curious, and maybe think twice before you fall for the next cultural fashion trap, especially if it comes with a slogan.
Or a butterfly.